Sometimes the choices we make can come back to haunt us in the end. And we've all heard the term, how you get them is how you lose them. On today's case, Miss Ruiz says that she was flattered when her partner, Mr. Williams, left his ex for her. But now she has questions. Was this a one-time thing, or is history about to repeat itself? Ms. Ruiz says she has stumbled upon some evidence that leaves her feeling insecure about a relationship and paranoid about her future. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Ruiz versus Williams.
Thank you very much. Ms. Ruiz, you are here in court today because you say your partner, Mr. Williams, is actively searching for other women when he should be attending to you. You claim he's spending all his money on sex chat sites, and if his behavior doesn't change, you're done with this relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Williams, you're here today because you claim to love Ms. Ruiz and you want to resolve your issues. You say Ms. Ruiz actually isn't being honest with you or with herself about what's really holding you back from having a nurturing relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get to the bottom line in all of this. I'm trying to go back in the case file to learn about how you all met. Why don't you take me through it, Ms. Ruiz?
Me and his ex were actually friends, and she went out of town. He called me, wanted me to come hang out, and then he told me some things that she had said about me, and so I went and hung out with him, and one thing led to another.
So wait, you went to hang out with one of your friend's men, and then you started dating him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Williams, you would play a player, I see.
It wasn't like that, Your Honor. I was already about to break up with my ex.
Yeah, and if I asked her, would she say the same thing?
I'm assuming yes.
If that's how you met, what has brought you here today?
He has been on those chat sex websites.
He's been on sex chat websites?
Mm-hmm. I went through his phone one night because I was feeling a little suspicious. So I went through his phone and I found multiple profiles for multiple different websites. He was talking to multiple different women. And
so did you find text messages of him actually speaking
Yes.
to different women?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have evidence of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, what she found on my phone was just spam junk mail.
I'm looking at this. It says add credits. It says you have no balance there.
No.
And then I see on the one hand, I like you, and on the other two. Did you send that text?
No, I did not.
So it says reply now to start chatting. I just this past weekend saw one of these come through because a lot of these websites on the WhatsApp and other text chains will get access to random numbers and start sending these things. I got one that looks almost identical to that.
It's spam.
Is that what you've been getting?
I think so.
Have you been on sex chat websites?
No.
Have you spent any money whatsoever?
None.
Because there's a huge difference between somebody soliciting Mr. Williams and Mr. Williams soliciting somebody else.
Right.
And the evidence shows that a bot, for all we know, was soliciting Mr. Williams, because that happens all the time.
Right.
So I can take judicial notice that at least on that thing, he didn't do it. So what about this issue of why you're so insecure? What's going on?
I went to we got in a fight, so I went to my mom's for a few days. When I come back home, I find receipts for lingerie, for like makeup, and eyelashes, different things.
You don't wear that stuff?
No, they definitely weren't mine.
Your Honor, those were old receipts from her. She forgot about them. They were just old receipts that she found in the house.
So why are you going through boxes and drawers and stuff looking for receipts? Has something happened to make you believe that this man who you've been together with for 6 years?
It wasn't like that. I mean, the receipts were just on the floor in my room, and I know that they weren't there when I left. I know that the lingerie was not mine. I know that the eyelashes and the makeup was not for me.
So you think he is just trying to gaslight you and make you believe that you did something that you actually didn't do?
Yeah. Well, and when we got home, he immediately jumped out of the car and was in the house with the door shut before I was even able to get my door open for the car and get out. He was already in there doing whatever he was doing. I'm pretty sure picking up the evidence, but he didn't get it all. You know, and then so later that night...
you mean picking up the evidence of a tryst that he had earlier? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Was the actual lingerie there, or was the
No,
receipt just there?
It was just the tag for the lingerie.
The tag
Yes.
was there. Oh, see, there's a difference between the receipt and the tag.
Yeah.
The tag means somebody pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
The receipt is somebody paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
What else was on the floor?
A tag for eyelashes and makeup, and the lingerie.
So a tag or a receipt?
A tag, not the actual receipt, but the tag.
Your Honor, she's paranoid. She got me fired from my job. She called one of my customers and accused me of having an affair with him. And one of my customers called my boss, and my boss laid me off after that because she's so paranoid.
So wait a minute. You work in an industry that requires you to...
Yes, I install garage doors.
Oh, okay, so you have to go to people's homes,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
And you had a particular
I had a
client?
phone. Yeah, I had a text message on my phone.
And so that text message was work-related?
Yes.
And what did you do in response to seeing that text message, Ms. Ruiz?
It wasn't a text message that I saw. It was just random phone numbers in there. And so I thought that maybe he was cheating on me, so I called the numbers back.
And you called the number back, and what happened when you called the number?
It was a female that answered, and she told me no, that she didn't know who Michael was. And so I hung up, and I left it at that.
So what did you ask her?
I asked her if she knew Michael and if they were dating or seeing each other.
And so this random woman who you called out the blue gets a phone call from a random woman asking her if she knew a particular person and whether or not she was sleeping with him. So that's what you asked this lady?
Yes.
I'd have hung up on you, too. Okay, so now, Mr. Williams, what happened as a result of that?
My boss was upset and...
Of course he was. Why are you bringing your drama up into my business?
Exactly. She should have never done that. I've never cheated on her, so I don't know where all this is coming from.
So, Ms. Ruiz, did you at least confront Mr. Williams before you made that phone call?
Multiple times.
And what did he say? Similar to what he just said to me?
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, it actually turned out to be true because it was actually a customer.
This time. Wow. He always throws me taking care of my mom in my face.
It's just a real inconvenience to leave my house in the middle of the night to go find her remote.
So you're telling me she's not considerate of your time?
Yeah.
It wasn't her remote, it was her phone. She's wheelchair bound, so if something was to happen and she didn't have her phone to call 911, she could literally die.
Mr. Williams, if it was a phone and not a remote, you're wrong about that. You all have been together 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine, just like with any other relationship, there can be ups and downs and sideways and stuff that, can cause some issues. But in 6 years, didn't you establish enough trust with him that you can ask him things and either you know he's lying or he's not?
I wish, but no. I mean, if he's lying about something, he's going to lie about it.
My instinct is the reason that you are so paranoid is because if he will cheat with you, he will cheat on you.
Right.
And that's your attitude.
Right.
And so you need to get out of your own head because you're the one that took that woman's man. You did. And I don't know if Mr. Williams is a changed man. I'll ask him that in a minute. But it sounds like you've been living in a whole state of paranoia because there's some guilt over the way you got this man.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
So have you discussed that? Because that is actually the core of this.
No.
Because the relationship started out in a way that was not truthful and honest. And that's why you're having a personal problem with this man.
I believe so, too.
I'm going to turn to you, Mr. Williams. After you left your ex and decided to try to make this relationship work, have you been a faithful man?
Yes, I have. Totally faithful, 100%.
Got it. But I see down here that one of the main issues is not just allegations of cheating or insecurity, but what's going on about inattention because of a relative. What's happening in your life?
He always throws me taking care of my mom in my face, that she's too needy and whatnot. But my mom has been handicapped my entire life. She's been in a wheelchair.
And she needs some extra assistance, correct?
Right. And I feel a need to have to help her and be there for her. And he always throws that in my face.
But that's who you are as the daughter. You're going to be there to help your mom.
Right.
And were you honest with him to say that this is going to need to be a priority for me because she's my mom?
Oh, yeah. And she has told him that.
And so, Mr. Williams, I understand that it may be an inconvenience at times, but why is that a problem?
It's not a problem. It's just when she calls us at midnight to go to her house is about 10 miles away from mine, to find her remote, and then she'll find it and won't even call us to tell us that she found it, and we're already in the road, and I got to go to work in the morning, and it's just a real inconvenience to leave my house in the middle of the night to go find her remote.
So you're telling me she's not considerate of your time and of your private space?
Exactly.
Well, see, the time that he's actually talking about, it wasn't her remote, it was her phone. And she called me on Facebook and told me that she had lost her phone. And she's wheelchair bound, so if something was to happen and she didn't have her phone to call 911, she could literally die.
I understand that. That's accurate.
And so that's why I had to get there that night.
So it wasn't a remote, it was a phone.
Right.
That would go in my list of emergencies when it's somebody with a debilitating disease, something that requires her to have some assistance. And that phone is like having a household assistant because it connects her to people, correct?
Right, 100%.
Mr. Williams, if it was a phone and not a remote, you're wrong about that. Sorry.
Your Honor, I think the real problem is that she's just paranoid because she's relapsed on her pain pill issue. One time I went to get her phone out of her purse, and I seen a bunch of prescription pain pills in there.
That's not true. He did find prescription drugs in my purse, but I was holding them for a friend.
And did this friend who gave you these pain pills know that you used to be an addict?
Yes.
So how long have you been clean?
6 years.
Mr. Williams asked us to do a drug test. Is there something that you want to tell me before I open up the envelope? If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
She was addicted to pain pills at the beginning of our relationship, and I think she's relapsed on it.
So you're telling me that the real issue is not just her insecurity, but the fact that she is an addict, and that is influencing how she thinks about things and how she behaves.
I believe so.
Why don't you give me an example?
She's, one time I went to get her phone out of her purse, and I looked in her purse, and I seen a bunch of prescription pain pills in there, and she's not supposed to have pain pills in her purse, and I confronted her about it, and she said, yeah, I relapsed on pain pills again, and I have a problem.
That's not true. He did find prescription drugs in my purse, but I was holding them for a friend.
I'm sorry, Ms. Ruiz, you were holding prescription drugs that you used to be addicted to for a friend?
Right.
That doesn't have the ring of truth to it.
I know. I thought I was strong enough, and I understand it sounds like a bull-ass BS story, but it is the truth.
No, but regardless, you don't need to have pain pills in your purse, period.
You're right, yeah.
And did this friend who gave you these pain pills know that you used to be an addict?
Yes. Well, they were threatening to overdose on them. That's why I took them from him.
And you know what normal people do who are not addicts when they take pills away from somebody who's threatening to overdose? Guess.
Call 911?
Or flush them down the toilet.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was an addict.
Did you relapse?
No.
So how long have you been clean?
6 years.
6 years clean.
Your Honor,
Mr. Williams, you don't believe that, do you?
No, I don't. We've had money come out of our account that was unexplained. Lots of money.
How do you explain money coming up missing, Miss Ruiz?
From him on those chat sites. I mean, it's $3 per text that he has to send and to receive the message.
So you're saying that the money is coming out of the account because he's on a sex chat website?
On multiple.
Mr. Williams, you say you wanted to find out once and for all if Miss Ruiz was back on drugs.
Yes, I do. I would like to see if she could take a drug test.
And so we did, in fact, do a drug test. I'd like to do the results. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to know the answer?
Yes, I do.
What about you? Am I going to find out anything that you don't want me to find out?
Most likely.
Most likely? Robert, retrieve the test results for me. I thought you told me that you were clean for the last 6 years.
I know.
I'm sorry, your voice is going low, babe.
I know, I'm sorry.
You know what? But your voice is going low because you submitted yourself for a drug test. Mr. Williams asked us to do a drug test, And you know I'm about to open up this envelope, which I have not seen, but I'm about to open up this envelope. Again, is there something that you want to tell me before I open up the envelope?
I've been taking fentanyl.
Fentanyl is an opioid, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's a pain pill.
It's a pain pill. Mm-hmm. So you
But
haven't been clean.
Street. No.
Results. Mary Ruiz, prior to coming to court today, you were tested for amphetamines, ecstasy, opioids, methamphetamine. According to the drug test, all of these substances are presently in your system.
I only took the fentanyl. And the other ones, it must have been in the pill or something. I got it off the street, so.
So you now moved from I'm clean for 6 years to I bought drugs off the street and I don't even know what was in those drugs.
Right.
How long has this been going on, ma'am?
Well, just off and on for, like you said, like a month.
So that money that's been missing has been going to buy drugs?
No.
Up. Listen, we're in the truth space.
Yes.
And if you want this man to stick with you, you need to start telling the truth, not just to him, but to yourself. You're an addict. Miss Ruiz, you're an addict.
I know. I need help.
You need help.
Yeah, I do.
Why didn't you go to the man that you say you love,
I didn't feel like I could.
but you felt like you could accuse him of doing something nefarious? Me think thou doth protest too much. You know what that phrase usually means? Usually when somebody is accusing somebody else of something, it's because they're doing something themselves.
Right.
And I'm not here to pass judgment on your addiction because I know it's hard. But if you want to get help, you can get help.
I do.
Do you want help?
I do.
Don't just tell me, tell him.
I want help.
I want to be here to support you.
And we'll be happy to help you with those resources. But you need to be dedicated to make good decisions. And Ms. Ruiz, what you need more than anything is to be honest with yourself so you can be honest with your partner. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. It's that soil from which love grows. People think it's love. It's not. It's trust. He can't trust you.
No.
So you're going to need to do some real hard work on yourself. Some really intense work on yourself. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Then I'm willing to help.
Thank you.
I'm willing to put you in touch with the resources. I'm willing to help you monitor those resources. But because this is medical, you're going to have to make those tough choices yourself.
I know.
Because we can't hold your hand through it.
I know.
He can love and support you through it, but he can't hold your hand through it.
I know.
You ready to do it?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, can you give her time?
Yes, I can. I love her. I want to be there to support her.
You owe it to yourself. You
do.
owe it to the relationship.
I do.
If you want to be that full functioning woman who is in a fully functioning relationship, get yourself clean.
So I'm going to accept her help and the resources and everything.
Okay.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me.
We'll make it.
Make sure you keep
So, Robert, I was very sad to hear that she had relapsed in such a way with all those drugs in her system.
Who knows, maybe coming in here, she had anxiety, some type of anxiety, and she needed the help, which she thought was help.
I'm glad that we gave her a safe space to recognize that she is indeed an addict.
Even the better thing is that we're gonna give her the resources to help her.
Absolutely. That family needs those resources. I just hope he's strong enough to do the tough love that's necessary.